I will take full responsibility.
Well,
must
just so I know
just
when I
put you
do
on
need
the
to
wrong one.
hear.
Yeah, so let me open my Google Drive.
Okay.
So that I can check the worship calendar, which I know we confirmed.
Well, I didn't know that I was on today, and then I got that.
Yeah, I
'Cause I-
must have just, I wonder if I started typing and it auto-filled, like hit C and it went, oh.
Well, that's possible.
I'm like, I don't know exactly how I would have done that, but I've got Chuck on. I don't have you on until next month.
Okay.
So,
When next month? You've got it open.
so I had you as a tentative for the second week of next month, which is the 8th.
Yes.
Does that still work?
As far as I know, that works.
Okay.
So I'll put me down.
So, okay, and we'll confirm it at the worship meeting next week.
There's a couple extras
Oh,
in the
thank you.
back.
That's
From
fabulous.
Chad, yes, and then
Yeah,
I put 3 on the altar thing.
Everything is just a little less combobulated than usual after a couple of weeks of being outside of the worship space. And someone had taken a couple candles from here and a lighter from the library. and-
Trucking stuff down.
Yeah, there's just been like one or two things not quite in the place I expect. All over
She is getting
the
so
place.
big.
She really is.
You're gonna be
I
walking
had
soon.
I had to clear out everything
yeah.
that was the 6 to 9 month clothes because she's just,
Growing. Yeah, you are.
she was looking like she was in capri pants all the time. And it's too cold for that nonsense. Hello.
The
Oh
growth.
my goodness, you're so good at it.
That's right.
That go.
I know.
Last couple decades.
Nice job.
Nice job. Are you coming this way?
That I'm whining about. It's like conditioned response, like downloaded in our DNA or uploaded.
Yeah. Getting over it.
Silence, that's what I'm done, right? No, I did. Want to know why I say it? Well, because I forgot. The only way to shut my phone off is to go airport mode. You don't have to.
You're gonna say
Oh, well, you're
hello and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Cheyenne.
It's right there.
I'm a church baby, and this is my microphone. Oh, she's so happy.
I know, she is doing very well, so I'm just gonna sit in the back and if
got
she's
him
having a
always.
good time, we'll stay.
You just want me to sit on the piano bench and stay on it
Where?
after I find A flat.
No, come and sing with us.
Where are you singing?
I don't know.
At the microphone.
At the microphone.
Okay, thank you.
This microphone.
That microphone? Okay.
Do we have accompanying music or no?
Dick Tracy
No,
has
no.
finally made it to current
That's why
day.
we need
Just
that
us.
note.
I had no idea.
Oh,
I
but
could be 4 miles
if
from
we
my
could
phone
put
and still
out
take a call.
some percussive
freaks me out.
instruments.
Yeah, I would like
This is
that.
weird.
I was thinking that might be. All right, let's get this show on the road. All right. I believe Chuck has bells. We'll begin with a prelude, and special thanks to Tim and Carl, who are providing our prelude music from Mozart on piano and violin.
For those of you who were here last time we played, we're back with some of the favorite dance tunes of the 70s. That would be the 1770s. But remember, these guys were trying to have some fun. And if you get up and want to move with the music, that's fine. Please be cognizant that others want to listen. And whatever you want to do.
definitely have something for everybody. 2 weeks ago, the Labyrinth. Last week, Buddha washing. This week, music, Mozart, yeah, thank you. Come seeker, come traveler, come all humankind, online or in person, whomever you love.
Come and be welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Cheyenne, for here we are building a community of refuge where all have equal worth and are invited into spiritual exploration as a foundation for hope, compassionate service, and action.
This is a place where questions are encouraged, a place with room for all of who you are.
This is a place full of works in progress, a place for being human together.
Welcome. It is good to be here.
Settle in. Take a moment to exhale. For this is a time for community.
Good morning. I'm Emily Smith. I'm the president of the board here at UUCC, and I'm here to welcome you to our church, where we are on a shared journey to find meaning, connection, and community together. If you are new here, please fill out a welcome card and drop it in the offering basket so we can share information about our activities and help you find what nourishes your spirit here. There are note cards in your pew for writing your joys and sorrows for the pastoral prayer. We pass a square basket during the offering to gather those up. If you write your name, or you can remain anonymous, you can also write "do not share" on that card if there's something you want held in care by our minister and pastoral care team, but not spoken out loud. So we have a lot of things and events going on each week, and here are a few announcements that we have for this week. You may notice that our door on this side of the sanctuary has changed. We have a new accessible door. If you notice that you push the button to open the accessible door and it doesn't open, you don't need to come tell me that. We already know. We're working on making sure we understand how to work our door, but we're very excited about the door, and we hope you are too. One of the other things I wanted to announce is our service auction, which is on March 7th. We need donations, and we would love to have volunteers. So if you're interested in donating or volunteering, please come and see me after the service, and we can chat. On the second and fourth Sundays, faith development for 5 to 12-year-olds meets downstairs, following our time for all ages here in the sanctuary. And as we move into the new year, we would like to remind you of our ongoing events that are happening at the church. We have almost daily meditation groups, we have fun events every Thursday night, and plenty of ways to volunteer. So we hope there is something for everyone. If not, come and let us know what your soul is searching for, and we may be able to help you set up something for 2026. You can find Jed, who's our administrator, for more information regarding ongoing events or how to start a new one if you would like to do that. So, also, every week we gather in person and on Zoom, giving from our resources to sustain the work of our church and share our abundance with our own community organizations, which broadens the reach of our values. You can find the text to give number in your order of service, or use your Realm app for electronic giving, or your Share the Plate offerings and pledges can be dropped in the basket in a few minutes when we pass that basket around. I'm going to let Elizabeth talk about our Share the Plate partner this month.
We sure can. And just before I move into telling you more about our discretionary fund, I do want to add a short announcement, which is that our kitchen is looking for a few more volunteers to take on leadership for one Sunday every month or two of making sure that the coffee machines get turned on and the snacks get put out, whatever they may be. So if you are able to take charge of making sure that coffee happens, We would all be so grateful and so much more alert to your presence if you can help with this. So just let me or Heather or Jed know if you are able, and we'll get you on the schedule. It will be no more than once a month. With that said, that also means that this Sunday, once we conclude with our benediction, we could use a few spry people to spring into action and go make sure that everything is put out. Because today, Heather is enjoying the service since she already did the once a month last week. So thank you so much. And then another way that you might give to the work of this church is through our Share the Plate. Once per year, our Share the Plate goes into this congregation, but not just for general operating expenses. The minister's discretionary fund is the portion of our Share the Plate that exists for when people have a special need or a particular moment in their lives when they could use a little help. Sometimes people have been ill or had a new baby and could use a meal that they didn't have to prepare. Sometimes it's a grocery card or a cell phone that's about to be turned off for non-payment. And if we can just get that one bill covered, then that person can find their next job or can get through that rough patch, can find their dignity, can know that they are loved. And so this discretionary fund fills in those little gaps where social services may want you to do a lot of work to ensure that you're eligible. It may take a lot of time. But for this moment, for 24 hours, for just a meal or a night, we've got you covered, because that's what community can do. So I ask that you give generously to the work of this congregation within and beyond our walls.
And for those of you who are keeping track, this is not going to be KB 301, it's going to be KB 304. Whatever. It still is the first movement, though.
generosity of this community and for that generous gift of music, we give thanks. There is room for you here. If God is your strength and companion, and prayer is the means of centering your thoughts, there is room for you here. If the teachings of the Buddha give you clarity and calm in the midst of human striving, there is room for you here. If Gaia's seasonal rhythms lead you best through the myriad steps of life's great dance, there is room for you here. If the still mysterious capacity and power of the mind stirs your imagination and quickens your pulse, then there is room for you here. Rest now beside that spring, whatever it is for you, wherever it is for you. Let your attention go to the places, the small places inside or out in the great, wide world. Places or people in need of healing, or for which your heart is filled with thanksgiving. In that spirit, let us be silent together for a time as we gather in worship. And now, let me invite forward some hymn leaders and invite you to stand as you're willing and able. Open your teal hymnals and rise in body or in spirit to join in hymn number 1040, Hush. This song comes from the gospel tradition, and in that tradition we'll sing a cappella. My dad, Carl, is going to give us an opening note, and we will sing together and swing together. Feel free to sway to keep yourself in the rhythm and on beat. Ready? Would you like me to hold the baby, or you want that?
Yeah, someone should hold the baby. Maybe not me. Oh, there we go.
Would you like to do a piece of the song?
Ready? Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds
do. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do?
All right. And now for our chalice lighting.
Following words are from March 17th, 1952 journal entry in Entering the Silence, Becoming a Monk and Writer by Thomas Merton. When your tongue is silent, you can rest in the silence of the forest. When your imagination is silent, the forest speaks to you, tells you of its unreality and of the reality of God. But when your mind is silent, then the forest suddenly becomes real. Magnificently real. The forest suddenly becomes magnificently real, and so do the words on the page, and blazes transparently with the reality of God. So may we light this flame and see in its blaze all that is real and all that is divine. Yeah, I think it's lit.
Sometimes that's how God is too. It just takes a moment. Thank you. And so today, may we join together in a spirit of prayer to share what is good with one another and support each other in our hard times. Spirit of life, spirit of love. This year is so new, and yet there is so much which has already happened, which calls to us, which asks of our souls to be present to life in its turning. Today, may our prayers reach out far beyond ourselves. In this world, there is so much that is in flux. There are so many in fear and in pain. May we uplift prayers for those in Venezuela, for Greenland, for those in Canada and Mexico, for all people and countries whose peace and security are being impinged upon by this government's choices. May our country find its way back to once more become a force for good in the world and not a source of terror, a source of difficulty, a source of turbulence. May we hold close to hope that this day may be close at hand. The day when people, dogs, cell phones shall rise up. And even amidst turbulence, may we keep our good spirits, for the unexpected is always at hand.
So sorry, Cass. It happens to the best of us. It's happened to me on the pulpit. So let us say thank you, God, for that and all these moments where there is still good humor and good things in this world as well. A prayer and a joy celebrating the excitement of a budding romance while coping with the terrible events in Minnesota and Portland, remembering that there's room for great joy and great sorrow in the same breath. Today, we also note praise from Karen H. Karen says, I got my boot off. My foot is still healing, but the doctor put me in a shoe with an orthotic insert. Woohoo. Thank you. Yeah, that is truly a joy to be on solid ground again, and may that ground stay solid for you. And today, may our prayers reach out to the family and friends of Renee Nicole Good, to her wife and 3 children. This is not the first person whose life has been ended by an agent of Immigration and Customs Enforcement in these past weeks and months. But let us hope. Let our voices speak. Let our values move in the world to say no more. May humanity, may life, may love prevail. And let us hold silence. For this life lost. This time of the year is the quiet time, the time where roots grow slowly underground. May it be a time as well for us to find grounding and rootedness once more, to reawaken our hearts and our values, to find our courage once again, to speak clearly that all humanity is of deep value, that all life is precious, that there is no space for equivocation on these points. So may we give thanks for that ever-changing earth that reminds us of who we are and where we fit in the great cycle of life. And let us hold room in our hearts, not only for the sorrows too tender yet to speak aloud, but also the joys, the moments that bring us back to the knowledge that life is good, even as it is complicated. May we find in this space all peace and comfort and community which enfolds us. Blessed be, and amen. And now, if the young or the young at heart would like to join us on the chancel at this time, we invite you to share in the leadership of speaking our covenant in unison before our time for all ages. And if you need the words words to our covenant, they may be found on the inside cover of your order of worship. And so we begin. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its cause. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth, and to help others. Yeah, if you would like to bring up a stuffed animal, you are welcome. If you'd like to come sit and you need a space, you are welcome. And today, we are talking about our January theme, which is silence. Oh my goodness. I'm hearing that my mic is not very, very loud. So, hey, Josh, can we check that this mic? Yeah, there we go. We just needed it turned up a little bit. So, let me clip that right onto my stole so that we can hear me a little better. All right. So sometimes when you come up here, I tell a story that might teach us something interesting. Sometimes we do an activity together. Today is going to be an activity kind of day. So we're going to find out what we might hear if we try to hold ourselves in silence. Has anyone ever done this before? Tried to be really quiet and find out what we might hear? Before we start, does anyone want to make a few guesses? What do you think you might hear? Yeah.
The rhythm of your heart.
You might hear the rhythm of your heart. Yeah, anything else? You might hear tinnitus if you have that. Some people have a little bit of a ringing or a buzzing in their ears that they can hear all the time, and it's called tinnitus. Yeah, so for some people that might be true. What else? We might hear sneezes. Yeah. Well, now I find that it's easier to hold silence if I'm feeling comfortable. So we might wiggle the part of your seat that's touching the ground or the bench. Make sure that it's nice and flat and ready. You might shift your back if you need to, shrug your shoulders a couple times, maybe even tap your toes and your heels and make sure that your feet are on the ground in a way that feels good for you. And then breathe. And then all we have to do is listen. as we come back, was there anything that you heard that was interesting or that surprised you? Yeah. You could hear breathing. Yeah.
I could hear a rippling water.
You could hear rippling water? Well, I hope that it's not in the sanctuary. Yeah, I could hear a motor going that was all the way outside, I think maybe on the street, one street over. Anyone else?
I heard someone's tummy rumble. Might have been mine.
Someone's tummy rumbled. Yeah. Yeah. Did anyone else hear something interesting? An airplane going over. Yeah. The deep silence of the sanctuary. Yeah. Yeah.
A piano playing.
A piano. Would be cool to hear a piano. And we will again soon. Sometimes, what's interesting for me, sometimes you can hear things outside of you. Sometimes you can hear things inside. Sometimes, if people keep silent for a long time, you might hear something that your mind or your heart has been waiting to tell you. You might hear something that's not even really noise, but is your inside self letting you know that there's something you need to pay attention to. Sometimes people spend hours or even days in meditative silence to find out what they might hear. It might be called meditation or prayer, but mostly it's just listening. It's getting used to being in your own self and letting all of those little bits, the need to shuffle around. Who else found that as soon as they got really quiet, they noticed some part of their body that was maybe a little itchy, or they needed to cough a little bit, or they wanted to wiggle? Did that happen for anybody else? Yeah. So when you get comfortable in your body starts telling you things. And then your mind starts telling you things. Did anybody find that their brain started making to-do lists, or telling you really loudly about all the noises that other people were making that maybe they shouldn't be making because it was quiet time? Yeah. But if you can get past that, if you listen to your body and then your mind, you might find your way in to listen to your heart or your soul, the things that you really want to hear, the things that we call wisdom. So, I thank you for listening to me and with me today. And I hope that you might try this kind of listening again somewhere else, maybe at home, maybe with friends. And let me know, how was it? Was it the same? Was it different? Did you hear something unexpected somewhere else? So, how many people might find another time to listen sometime this week? I know I'm gonna try. And now, it is the time when we send our children to continue their learning, and I need someone to take our chalice flame with them. Would you like to? So, let's light this flame. Whoop. There we go. And send that with us as we sing our children to their classes. Children, remember as you go the lessons we have learned together, to seek the light of truth, to tend the fire of caring, always returning to the warmth of this community. Thank you.
Time for the sacred message from chapter 56 in the Tao Te Ching, if I say that correctly. Those who know don't talk. Those who talk don't know. Close your mouth. Block off your senses. Blunt your sharpness. Untie your knots. Soften your glare. Settle your dust. This is the primal identity. Be like the Tao. It can't be approached or withdrawn from, benefited or harmed, honored or brought into disgrace. It gives itself up continually. That is why it endures.
And now, a moment for meditation by Jess Reynolds. On my worst days, she says, it is gravity I am most grateful for. The way the earth pulls at me from her core, yearns for me, keeps me pressed tightly against her surface. When my own core is hollowed out, when I have no more mass than a leaf dead on the branch, still, this is enough for the earth to find me. She reaches for what little I have and says, stay. Every meditation I have ever done begins by asking me to ground myself. This is not so much an action as it is inaction. Surrender, a voluntary abandonment of my own edges and tidy packaging. Sit with me now. Press the soles of your feet back into the ground that you sprang from. Feel the weight of your body and know that it is glorious. You are born of soil and of sun, and all the heaviness of the earth is a call to you. The earth is reaching for you. Reach back. Reach back. Thank you. This month, our theme is silence. And yet, there is so much around us that feels like it needs to be spoken, feels like it calls for our voices, for our attention, feels like there's so much moving. And yet, maybe we need to take time elsewhere. When you go walking or rolling through a forest, there's a stillness you can find if you move slowly. A moment where there's finally no one on the path before you or behind you, where the trees might gather inward and seem to whisper and then grow quiet, almost to listen alongside of you. Where if you keep moving, you might find yourself going slower and slower until you are moving at the speed of all creation. Not an effortful speed, but simply motion. And in these moments, sometimes there's a magic that can happen. You might see a deer wandering the meadow under aspen trees, grazing without fear, knowing that you are simply company, not a predator. Perhaps your eyes grow soft, and you can take in the wide range of the mountains and the deep blue of the sky. Then you can see castles and rhinoceri, dragons and ships sailing across the sky in the clouds. Or the winds may pick up, and suddenly the shuffling of the leaves sounds loud in your ears, like an audience applauding all of nature. It is in silence that we can find the wonder in the world around us, the moments that are made to remind us of our part in the holy everything. I've heard sometimes that we simply can't always be in this place of presence, that if we were wholly aware of the universe breathing and being with us all the time, we would become paralyzed by the experience. We wouldn't be able to get anything done. But perhaps there is less that needs doing and more that needs experiencing. I don't know about you, but I suspect that my life is too full of information, of news, of mundane bits, that I need to find the woods and the times that happen when I lift my eyes to the sky. I need to take time with the sunset and remember that beauty is all around me, that I can be freely present with any moment when I take enough space to see and feel and listen. Our brains need silence. We need boredom. The human brain is queued up and ready to tell us stories from within. It's what all of that extra matter that we've spent so much time evolving is for, truly. We spend fully a third of our lives with our eyes closed, lying down and letting ourselves create stories internally. Without it, we go crazy. People die from lack of sleep. It is truly unhealthy not to spend time in the spaciousness of silence. Our brains need to let noise and silence come to us, shaping our responses, changing the internal firing of our neurons in that dream state. But our brains are also deeply tuned to enjoy novel stimulus. Even young babies look longer at any person they haven't met before, any situation that seems a little out of the ordinary. Just add a new shirt pattern or place something on your head as a hat that they've never seen before. Any situation gets a close look. And so it is for all of our lives. In an age of internet and constant news, it means we are so very susceptible to the infinite scroll. For our brains tell us that new bits of information, new learning, is so valuable and necessary. A new skill might mean a better chance of survival. A new technique that could increase your value in the world. A new ability to navigate social dynamics could keep you safe and well through next year's harvest. All of these very good survival skills that are now so very shaped and exploited to keep us in a constant state of receiving streams of information, of sitting, unable to break free of what feels like this positive cycle for our brains until the moment we try to remove ourselves and notice that nearly hangover-like dysregulation, that overload in our minds. We need spaciousness. We need quiet. We need moments in which to be quiet, to be bored, to listen. And make no mistake, this is not me telling you you're doing it wrong. This is something that has been shaped for, an intentional part of a larger system, intended to fill that silence with clutter and noise, so we choose convenience, so we choose quick fulfillment of needs, because that powers a whole society and system of capitalism, being constantly ramped up and given more stimulus and more quick bursts of activity. But what we must have, if we are to survive and thrive, is more space, more capacity for creative boredom. The space into which we go when we pray or meditate, when we daydream. Because beyond that moment of boredom, beyond the jumping brain, sometimes called the monkey mind, that's searching for its next quick hit of dopamine, if you can keep yourself off of that phone scroll and the news and the quick reward, you build back a capacity for writing poetry, for making art, for crafting and constructing, for whittling or building. In the past, this time of the year in which the days were short and cold was the time to tell stories, to build collective memories and myth that tell us why we are, who we are beyond what we do. It was the time for mending your things and your relationships, for creating, for the artistry of the season. And so it is time to think about what we might choose, to allow ourselves not to react, but to respond thoughtfully. Perhaps instead of finding more and more news even in this time of turbulence, we could find a poem or a few words to focus on. Perhaps you could say, like Renee Good begins her poem, I want back my rocking chairs, my solipsist sunsets and coastal jungle sounds. Perhaps we could find deep meaning in the quiet and the reflection. For there is a power in silence. When we choose it, it can change our lives and choices in deeply powerful ways. And so we use this technique in our meditation groups, in Wellspring reflection, in our chalice circles. Silent witness to one another, letting people ask questions without feeling the pressure of an immediate answer, being given space to let our wondering stay open, to find our own liberation and that of all people. We need our silence as well as our speech. And so in this time, I find myself coming back to a teaching I learned through a Buddhist teacher, but one which is not only of Buddhism. It is called think. Is what I am about to say true, helpful? Am I the one to say it? Is it necessary? Is it kind? When we reflect, when we choose silence and speech in a responsive way, perhaps we have a chance to once again build something, hear one another, and create connections. These are the ways of silence through choice as a self-empowering act, not forced upon us, but chosen to hold silence and allow it to ripple through our heart space, like a pebble causes ripples in a pond. Because the capacity to wait for one another and for ourselves, to allow space for deeper wisdom, is a core piece of creating a meaningful life. And so it is that we must sing as liberationists through the ages have sung. Hush, somebody's calling my name. That song is not a song of quiet because nothing can change. It is a song of listening for liberation, a song that was sung long ago in the fields to encourage people to get ready to run, to get ready to be free. This time, I would that we choose silence in order to find our courage. Because we need to find our courage to get free. it be so. And now, knowing that we are just a bit past time and some of us really like to get to coffee and snacks, and also back to our kids as they come up from their classes, let's move to our chalice extinguishing.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry within our hearts until we are together again.
As we close our time in this place and go forth, may we remember that in community there is strength. In the silence there are whispers of deep divinity and holy wisdom. May we find them in one another's company. And may we be called to ever more love. And today we close with, yet again, Mozart.
Thanks, Carl and Tim. Thank you all. Let's go get some rejuvenation.